You can go back. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm live. So let me get my other computer set up. Hope everybody's having a great day. There'll be a little bit of noise in the background for a minute or two.
I'll be quiet.
You're like a little squirrel. They can hear you. Give me just a second. If you're watching on YouTube, just scrub forward until you see stuff start happening. Hit that thumbs up on your way in. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Almaris. Hi, Dorothy. Getting my pop-out chat here. Alrighty. I think we got it. Make sure you are on live chat. My chat usually isn't that busy, so you won't miss much. But hi, Lisa. Hi, Nancy. But yeah, there we go. So, hey, Brenda. Thank you. Worked hard this morning so you can watch me. I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys coming. Hi, Jane. Watched Dee Dee color Titan Mouse this morning. And that was fun. Hey, Dabbler. When you're done, would you go check the mail? Mm-hmm. Dabbler sent me something in the mail and asked me if I got it yet, and I hadn't gotten it yet, so.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know. It's coming from overseas, so yeah, it could take a while, Dabbler. Just saying. Hi, Joan. So today we're going to make a matchbook cover, much like this one, only I'm going to do it a different size. This one holds all my, well, not anymore, but at one time it held most of my Zentangle patterns in it. But today I'm going to, we're going to do a different size one. And you guys will learn how to do it, if you want. Hi, Linda. So, people are streaming in, so we're good. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, do it. It helps the algorithms. All that really does is makes the videos more likely to be recommended to other viewers. So, yep, that's all it does. Thumbs down does the same thing. It's just all an algorithm interaction, and that's what they look for. So, yep. And I'm sure most of you guys are subscribed. So, hope you're all doing well. We're having a beautiful day here. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love spring. Hey, Dee Dee. Look what's on my desk, Dee Dee. Or on my table. I did take some allergy medicine this morning. Hopefully I won't be too snotty, but yeah, no guarantees. This time of year is just brutal. Brutal! It's brutal for me year-round, but this time of year especially. All the pollen on the trees and, ugh. It's horrible. And I try not to whine, but what the hell. I'll whine anyway. Hi, Barbara. So, yeah. Thanks, Linda. Hey, Trisha. All right. Anyway, I'll start with my Happy Mail from Dee Dee, which I get every month. Some months I don't feel like I earn it. Hi, Juanita. You're growing snow inches. Ugh. Hey, Mindy. There's our scavenger hunt winner. For those of you who maybe weren't here last week or didn't know, Mindy won the scavenger hunt giveaway. So it made me really happy to send her gift to her. But yeah, Dee Dee sent me the cigar box paper out of, I don't know if it's Tim Holtz. I think it's Tim Holtz. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it sure is cool. I want to do something really cool with it, but I have to be thinking. And I actually have a box that matches this exactly. I just didn't get it out. Hey, Pamela. So, and then every month I get one of her prints, which I love. I love seeing it. I love showing it to Robert because he just stares at it. He's like, Didi did that? Wow, she's really good. And it's like, no lie. Why do you think I go twice a week at least? But this one she calls Time Wrangler, and I like it. It's very cool. So someday I should get them all out, because then it would be like a flip of Didi's journals, right? Hi, Suzanne. So thank you, Didi. Thank you, Didi. I try to be a better mod. Today I think I almost earned my keep. And I told the people in chat my standards are pretty low. So, you know, when I think I've done a good job, Piccola deserves a raise. And I was resisting, you guys. I've been resisting going to Hobby Lobby since I was hearing about all the sales and stuff. But then Robert and I decided to go to Joplin last Friday. So naturally I had to go into Hobby Lobby. And what I was looking for was actually the larger pads of watercolor paper, which are usually pretty high priced. And they were out. I mean, that place looked like a ghost town. And I was talking to one of the girls there, and I said, why do you guys mark this down to turn around and get the same product back in? She just looked up in the sky and shook her head like, I don't know. I think they're going to continue to carry the Strathmore brand, but they put it on sale. So I just bought 2 pads of the Bristol paper. I like drawing on Bristol. It's good for journal covers or anything else. So normally $11.50 for $2.87. So not buy that, right? Hey Judy. Hey Terry. So yeah, I got 2 pads of that, and then now this paper, I tore the sticker off. I wish I hadn't, but I did. But this Yupo translucent paper is really, really pricey. And it's great for, this actually says it's suitable for watercolor. I can't imagine how watercolor is going to work on this. So I might, before I end today, try watercolor on the Yupo paper, because I bought it for alcohol inks. But then I noticed that it says suitable for watercolor. It's not absorbent, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. But we're going to try it anyway. And then I bought this for my, these 2 things for my granddaughter. A beginner's dip pen. And I bought it mostly because of the little jar of ink. How could you resist that little jar of ink? You can't resist that. So, and it's got a, I would say, a fine calligraphy nib. So it was normally $13 for 3 1/4. So she'll love that. And then I just bought her this journal. All of their little journals. What the heck is that? Where'd that come from? Anyway, I don't think the paper in these journals is that great. But yeah, I bought this for her because I just thought it was pretty and it made me think of her. So, hi Elaine. Been translating, what? Transplanting aloe. Oh, and ivy. Oh, you're working outside today. As inks go, it's very cute ink, right? Hi Kimberly. Yeah, I'm going to have to get out in the yard probably later in the week if it stays warm enough. I think we're getting a cold spell though. So I bought that for her. And then they had books. I've looked at this book 100 times and never bought it, but they had it on sale. It was like $3. So I just thought it was cute. I'll look through it. It may end up being given away, but yeah. And then the last thing was Drawing Birds, which I think this is a very cool book. And I haven't looked through any of them very much. But yeah. I thought these would be fun to draw and then watercolor. I will definitely be watercoloring these. I like them in graphite, and these are all graphite in here. But it's still good reference, so yeah. So I bought that, and it was cheap. So I spent like $25 is all. So, and that's the cost of one of those books. So I think I did really, really good, right? bought a bunch of junk I don't need. Okay, let's just be honest. Didn't need any of it. But what the hell. Now we've got it. And I think that was all I was going to show. And today, I told you guys, the ones that were here early, I'm going to show you guys how to make a matchbook cover like this one. Because last week I talked about doing a ATC swap, a Zentangle ATC swap. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. Anybody can join. You can use any pattern. It doesn't have to be any of the patterns that I post on Instagram or anything like that. You can choose any pattern off anywhere you get them, out of a book, tanglepatterns.com. It doesn't matter. But let me show you, where did I put it? Okay. This is one that I did just to show you guys what it looks like when it's done. And then, hang on, I gotta take this little doodad out. And then the inserts that'll go in it. So if you participate in the swap and you want a little matchbook cover to keep all your, here's a ATC size Zentangle that I've done. It's just the little baseball card sleeves that I've taped together, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Put it in the book, and then you have a little Zentangle book to keep your swap cards in. Do you guys love that? Please say yes. So, and today's Robert's birthday, so we're having, you're in on the swap. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and several times throughout the stream, I will put my email address in. Some of you have my home address already. But to do the swap, you're going to need my home address. Hang on, I don't even know my own email address. And I'll give it through, okay, you guys are saying you love it. Thank you. I shouldn't take credit or anything because, yeah, you only did what I told you to do. But anyway, you'll have to email me so I can send you my home address. I'm not going to publish it anywhere because I think I'm just looking for trouble if I do that, right? So, yeah. If you want to participate and get my home address, go ahead and send me an email, and I'll just email you back. And I wrote myself a note, and it's on my computer screen to check my email because I'm so bad at it. But I'm going to try really hard. But, yeah. And I'd rather have it all on email, honestly. I know a lot of you follow me on Instagram, and I could do that too, but it would just be easier if we're all in one place, so I kind of know who to watch for. But I was thinking, and you guys can have input here and tell me what you think. I don't know how long it takes. You know, I guess everybody's going to be a little bit different about how long it takes to make an ATC card, but I don't want it to be a full-time job. I want it to be something that you guys can work on a little bit of at a time and not feel pressured to get it done. So I was thinking about doing 6 cards. You'll get 5 back, right? Does that sound good? And then I'll keep one. I'll keep one of everybody's, just randomly. They don't all have to be the same. You can just do 6 cards, all different. I did this one just as a demonstration. It may or may not be one that I give away. It's actually a pretty nice one, right? But yeah, I'll participate in the swap as well. I'm not just hosting it. I'm going to participate as well. Okay, so 6 cards. You'll get 5 in return. I'll keep 1 for hosting. And the deadline will be June 1st. So that gives us about 6 weeks to get them drawn and mailed in. this will be open to international as well. So if, I know you guys can't do international postage, so I'll do the international postage for those of you who can't. But it's open to everybody. And even if you're watching on YouTube, you don't have to be here at a live. You can just go ahead and use that email, and I'll send you my home address. Does that sound? Okay, an ATC card in this case is 2.5 across, 3.5 inch down. Okay, somebody had said that they wanted to do circles. I would say that's great. Just do them 2.5 inch diameter circles rather than 3.5 inch, so that if you make a holder like this, they'll still fit the diameter of the circle, which would also be cool, right? To do circles and tangles, but that's up to you. Just 6 of something that measures 2.5 by 3.5 or 2.5 inch diameter circles. Yeah, no, ATC as a rule is 2.5 by 3.5. Art cards then become different sizes, but we're going to do 2.5 by 3.5. Okay? Okay. And then, Trisha, you goof. In Dee Dee's chat, I said, do you want to know a secret? Because I had posted this on Instagram. Dee Dee thought it was a bookmark, because I guess you couldn't see the real size. Because this actually measures 9 3/8 inches long by 2 I don't know, 13/16 wide. So, but anyway, this is an actual cover that I made, and after I show you how to do it, I'm going to give this away. So that was the secret I was going to tell you, Trisha, that this one will be given away today with the inserts, the guts. Maybe not without this card. Okay, so this, after I glue it all together, I will be giving away. So you get a present today because it's Robert's birthday. Got to give something away on Robert's birthday. Okay, and so to make the cover, you guys, I just made this up. Okay? I was meant to be working. Well, we won't tell anybody if you won't. How you like that? Okay, so you can make these matchbook covers. Let me see if I've got another one here. Literally any size, okay? Here's a couple different sizes. And this was made out of a paint swatch. And I could just paint the insides to cover all the printing that's in there, and then I just have some leftover vellum in there, and I haven't actually glued it or bound it yet. But you can make them. This one was actually small enough that I could staple. So yeah, you can make these any size if you want to bind something. Yay, Brenda! Yeah, if you think you're lagged, down in the bottom of your screen there's a little live. Make sure the little dot next to it is red, and then you know you're caught up with the video. And okay, Rachel, talk to you later. Your number is 7. Anyway, so what you have to do is first of all determine the size of what your contents are going to be. So in this case, I knew it was going to be the 2.5 and 3.5, and then you've got to have some method of binding it. So I added enough so that when it's bound, all you see is the 2.5 by 3.5 inch. So I had to, I first of all had to decide how am I going to extend this little baseball card sleeve to give myself room to bind on. You love using these matchbooks for everyday arson. Good on you. So I just figured, you know, I'll just use the washi tape and tape it to the very bottom. And most washi tapes are pretty crappy, honestly. So you might run a line of glue or some double-sided tape there. But I just wanted the space. So I measured the width of the washi tape. And then you've also got to accommodate the width this way. So in between the washi tapes, I just cut a piece of index. So I'm going to show you guys real quick how to do that. Get a baseball card sleeve, and I just have packages of them, right, that I've used throughout the years. I think this time I'm actually going to use the double-sided tape on the very bottom. Okay, this is the way I did it because these things are kind of slippery. So I took a little piece of double-sided tape, and to make it a little bit less sticky, stick it on your pants. Okay, and because you guys know I'm an anal freak, and I don't make any apologies for that. I can't help it. Sometimes I wish I wasn't such an anal freak, frankly, but it is what it is, and I deal with it. And you can make fun of me if you want, right? And I stuck it on the baseball card sleeve. Take the little backing off, if you can get it off, okay? And then I use the grid on this, and I'll try and use an area where, and I get it straight, and leave a 1/16 or less, and then tape that down, right? And then I'll run the piece of double-sided tape right along that line. And this is pretty sticky, so it should work well. I'm hoping. What are you looking for? Okay, birthday boy's here. Diana Warner said, "Happy birthday, Robert. Have a great day." You're the same way, Donna. There are times when it's just more trouble than it's worth, but when you're like that, honestly, you can't help yourself. I'm just here to tell you. And you don't have to trim it first. Dabbler said, "Happy birthday." He's having a good day. All of his buddies are calling, and
Thank you. Tell her thank you.
Old neighbors are calling, so a lot of people are showing him the love. Okay, peel the backing off. And then I'm just going to use the washi. And this is really the only reason I'm using the washi, if I can find the end of it, is because it's a good measurement. That's really the only reason. You're not ever going to see it, so what you choose is not that important. And the reason I did the double-sided tape first is because I want this to stick, right? Okay. Then pull it all up. Turn it over. And because now you're going to accommodate the width of the cards, you can use the same card stock. Well, you won't know the card stock because everybody's going to use something a little different. So I'm just going to use index card just because I have it sitting here. And the width is going to be 2.5 inches. I'm not going to get out the paper cutter. You guys know I love to use my rulers, so where is my cool pencil? What? There it is. And 2.5 is going to be just slightly smaller than the baseball card sleeve because remember this, the card itself at 2.5 inches slides inside it. So
Or do you want this?
just set it there. Yeah, that's good. Any birthday cards for a stinky boy?
I don't know yet. I just opened everything and separated it.
Lisa Nelson, happy birthday. Oh, they're all saying happy birthday, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dee Dee, it's too bad you have to be such a stinky boy on your birthday. Can you believe she said that?
Do what?
Dee Dee said, it's too bad you have to be such a stinky boy on your birthday. I can't believe she says stuff like that to you.
But she's
Because
right.
you love her so much,
I
and then
know.
she goes and says stuff like that to you.
She's right.
Hi, Mary Berry. Anybody else I might have missed? I hope I didn't. Okay, so I'm just going to, I mean, I could cut these the right size, but I'm just going to, because in my world it's easier, I'm just going to set this down. And if it comes out a little wonky, it's no big deal, because all it is a spacer, right? And I'll butt it up against the bottom. And then just trim it off. And then you can just cut along the bottom of the washi tape, and every one should be uniform then. And you've got a little bit of a spacer to allow for the card itself. So do that as many times, and then I just take this tape off, throw it away. Doesn't leave a mark, anything. So that's how, and you make, let me see how many I put in this one. Okay, so I put 10 in here. You're only going to get 5 cards, so you can make it 5. I did it 10, and you have to do this first so you know what your measurements are, okay? Hi, Marie. I just announced the Zentangle ATC swap, Marie. You have to make 6 cards delivered to me by June 1st. That should give everybody ample time, I'm hoping. Matchbook notes would be pretty much the same as what I just showed you guys, just a matchbook cover, because you can put anything inside these. I could write little notes and then tear it out, whatever, cut it out. So, yeah. So I'm not going to make 10 of these. I'm not going to make you guys sit and watch me do that. But that's the basic construction of these. Did you get that? Do I need to show it again? Zentangle. You like Zentangle? I do too. So I made this one have 10 because you have to make this first. Okay? So you have to know what size your inside contents are going to be before you can make the matchbook. Right? Because then you're going to want to know what the measurement of this is. This measures about 4 1/4. So I'm just going to say 4 1/4. So I would, just to allow for clearance, go ahead and add 1/8 of an inch onto that. So this was, what did I say, 4, this actually, yeah, 4 1/4. So your width of your contents, go ahead and write, and I'll write it on here, but I'll erase it, is 4 3/8. From there to there. That's going to accommodate your contents. Then you want to know the width of what you're going to have to bind with, right? So this is about 1/8. Yeah, I'm going to say about 3/16. So I'm talking about this portion here right now. That is about 3/16 of an inch. And then the part that you're going to fold up. to catch the cover, right? And I did it based on, we're going to pause here and let Robert make as much birthday noise as he wants. Okay, he's doing it. He's being his butthead self. Dee Dee, come take him before he gets his butt whipped. So I just figured that the amount of fold up that I was going to have was the exact same amount as that. So when you open the book, you see the entire card. Okay, so that's pretty easy. That is about 5/8 of an inch. So the fold up here is 5/8 of an inch. Okay. And I think I just used my pea-sized brain to figure out about how much clearance I needed, because I went ahead and put cards in here, so I knew that by the time I got it filled up, it's going to be wider at the top than it is at the bottom. So I just determined that probably, let me measure the inside, I can see it a little better. I just used 5/16 of an inch for the fold over. Okay. Are you going to mow today?
Do what?
Are you mowing?
No, I'll tell you, I'm gonna get gas, put in the mower,
Oh, okay.
and settle up with her, and then come home.
Okay. See you later. Bye. Be careful. All right. And then this measurement gets pretty easy because all your others have been determined, right? So you just know that you want to fold it down so that it tucks in. I just made it the width of the checkerboard, but you can make it more if you want. So on this one, it's 3 7/8. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Do you see how I came up with those measurements? And then it's a perfect little square, just like that. Right? He has to meet Lane. Oh, Mary Berry, you've listened to Lena's story. That girl, her imagination is just amazing. If you're not familiar with Lena, Miss Lennox 2010 on YouTube, she's written a time travel story, and Robert and his buddy Lane are in it. You need a ruler like that with the inside lines. Oh, this type gauge, I'm not sure where you can get these. Yeah, I'm not sure. I got this at an art store, H.R. Meiniger in Denver. They actually do ship. They have an online store, so it's the best art store on the planet. It's Linux, M-I-S-S-L-I-N-U-X. Linux, like the computer code. 2010. So, did y'all get those measurements? I'll give them to you again. Okay. It's called a type gauge, yes. And each of the little sections have the size of type. So, because I owned a print shop and did business forms my whole life, I used this all the time to determine how much space I had and how big a typeface I could use, whatever. Hey, CB. So yeah, you get from 0.0 or 0.4 size type up to 15 point. And I could go into all type sizes and all that. Doesn't Janet remind us oldies of Phyllis Diller? Her quotes are awesome. Never go to bed mad, stay up and fight. There you go, Artie Dart. So if you measure up all of these, I'm just going to measure it like this, but if you measure them all up, it turns out that it's 9 3/8 inches long. So add them all up and cut yourself a piece of cardstock or whatever. I'm actually using that paper that Dee Dee recommended. And Dee Dee, I don't know what it is, but it's cardstock with a coating on it. But I have to say, some of my pens are not happy with that paper, Dee Dee. I love the paper. Her husband was Fang. And she had crazy hair. And she was just a silly old wench, and I loved her. All right, so what did I say? 9 3/8 inches is the overall length of the entire thing. So I'll measure 9 3/8 inch. And you could use a paper cutter for this. I already cut it to the width. And the way you determine the width is obviously with your contents. This was just over 2.5, right? 2 5/8. So I cut my stock to exactly 2, and I added a 1/16. Wait a minute. 2 5/8. Yeah, no, I added 3/16 just to give myself a little bit of clearance on either side, because this may not be perfect. It might be a little skewed, whatever. So I just made sure that I had enough clearance on either side that it would fit in there and not be right up to the edge on either side, right? So just add a little bit on. 3/16 should be more than enough. I miss Artie Dar's streams too. You know what I miss more than Artie Dar's streams? I loved her streams, but I miss Artie Dar's homework. I loved her homework. Is that not crazy? So I'm going to go ahead and cut the length. And this is how I cut all my paper. I have a paper cutter. I just don't use it. I don't think it's very accurate, frankly. I trust my ruler and my X-Acto far more. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and with the measurements that I have determined on here, I'm going to go ahead and measure down 3 7/8 inches. And this edge here is inches in an eighth. So my first score is going to be at 3 7/8 inch. I'm going to add 5/16 and then 4 3/8. So I just move my ruler. And then 3/16. And then I should have 5/8 left. Yep, so that's good. And then if you have a scoring tool, you can get out your scoring tool. I have one, I don't use it. Four 3/8, 3/16, and then I should be left with 5/8. Perfect. Perfect. And then you can use your scoring tool or your scoring whatever. I just use my X-Acto and I flip it over and use the back side of the blade. And the reason I do this and the reason I like it like this is I think you get crisper folds. But you do whatever. Hey, Lady Jan. So I just line up my marks. Run my X-Acto, and I'm not pushing, I'm just barely running it over. All I'm doing is breaking the grains in the paper. But I think doing it this way, it's far more accurate and you get crisper folds. So there you go. So with 4 little scores, and I did that on, of course at this point this could be the inside or the outside, it doesn't really matter. But see how easy it folds, and they're nice and crisp. You don't have to run over them with your scoring tool or your bone folder or anything else. They just come out really nice and crisp. And the way you're going to know if your folds are good is if when it's folded, your edges still line up. Mine are pretty damn good. master of the ruler. Okay, and I will just because you guys are here. This thing is dirty. It needs to be washed. And I know half of you are just going, why would you wash it? I wash everything. And if you have to correct your folds, do it before you do your bone folder, right? And I would make this, obviously, before I designed it. Now, if you're using printed paper or something like that, it won't matter, right? But now if you're going to draw on this or whatever, yeah, you know what your margins are. Where did I get the ruler again? Hey, Jennifer. I got this one at H.R. Meininger. It's an art store in Denver. Best art store on the planet. Just saying. But it's nice because you do get tons of different measurements. Hey, Flo. I hope I haven't missed anybody. I'm trying to be a little bit better about reading chat because I really suck at it. So there you go. And you can see that the amount that folds in is going to be about 1/8 of an inch or slightly less. But it's going to hold the contents really nicely. Got it? Got it. Now, if your contents are thin enough, you can just staple it much like a matchbook, because that's how they bind matchbooks, is they just staple it. Actually, do you not think a matchbook is the most ingenious thing? That you have this little thing that you could put advertising or anything on and it makes fire? I think it's an amazing thing. But for this, it works out really good too. So there you go. Anybody can do that, right? Now you can do this with paper, you can do it whatever, but in this case I wanted to do it just to hold your ATCs for the swap. Right? So this one I'm going to go ahead and clean up right now. Take this out. I'm going to give it away. Oops, if you guys need those measurements, oh well, I can measure it again. I should have written them down. Does anybody need the measurements before I glue this? I'm going to write them down real quick, so if I get a question later, I'm not going, oh man, why didn't I keep those? Flow. All right, so this first section is 3 7/8. I do care what you guys have to say. Sometimes. The next section I said was 5/16. Next one was 4 3/8. And then I know that's 3/16 and 5/8. All right, now if I get any questions, I can answer them. All right, and then the way I'm trying to think, but I think the way I bound this one, because this was really a pain, because of the fold-out pages, I had to accommodate the space in between. So I just added filler, you know, scrap paper, whatever, just to fill this in so that the sheets would fold out like this. And I think after I did that and got all the pages made, all the contents were made, I put glue along this bottom edge inside and probably rubber banded it together. my scavenger hunt matchbook cover said instant crime scene cleanup kits, strike light, run. There you go. There you go. That's a plan, man. So I'll go ahead and run the glue on that, and I'm not sure that the type of glue matters. White glue pretty much works for everything, in my humble opinion. I'll use the original tacky glue. But before I do that, I'll get a couple. Oh man, I've done it again. Got something sticking up in my drawer so I can't open it. I hate when I do that. What the heck is it this time? If I can't get in my drawer, I am in big trouble, you guys. Oh, Post-it note. Way to go. Okay, let me see if I have some rubber bands here. And I'll get a couple of, what are these called? Bulldog clips? I'm not sure which will work better. So, I'm so glad I could get in my drawer. That just means the drawer needs to be cleaned out. Alright, so on that 3/16 inch part right there, I'm going to run a bead of glue. It might run up a little bit on the front and the back, but that's okay too. Hopefully it does, to be honest. So that it'll stick really good. Alright, where did I put the contents? Right here. And these are all pretty well flat. So, yeah, it should glue just fine. I'm going to set that in there, make sure it's as centered as I can get it. It's a little wonky. But I want it pushed down really good so I know that at least parts of it are getting in that glue really good. And you're not going to use this a whole bunch, you know? So, it's not like you have to glue it like a book. I will go over the rules for the swap. It's going to be ATC size, which is, and this rubber band should be adequate to hold it. It just needs to be held tight for a little while. Okay, ATC size, 2.5 by 3.5 inch. And just so you guys know, I'll show you how to cut, and I will get my paper cutter out for that. Okay, those are holding pretty good. That one could be better. Let me see if I have another one. I'll show you how to cut 10 ATCs out of an 8.5 by 11 inch paper without a bunch of waste. How about that? Okay, this one's going to be better. Okay, so glue that for a few hours and it should be fine. And that's how you build it. Okay, ATC size, 2.5 by 3.5 inch. We're going to make 6 cards for giveaway. And if you guys have better ideas, I just thought 6 was a reasonable number that we could all do in 6 weeks' time. You'll get 5 back, and I'll keep 1. Now, if you want to do more cards, you know, say you want to swap twice, I wouldn't have a problem with that. How to deal with a stuck drawer, you think, Barbara? Okay, let me get out a sheet of paper and I'll show you guys how to cut ATCs. So you get 10 out of an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet with just minimal waste. I'll go get one of those. I'll find out which paper that was that Dee Dee told me to buy and tell you guys. Okay, this is the paper that Dee Dee told me to buy, and I did it because I'm dutiful that way. If she tells me to do something, you know I'm going to do it. Okay, it's paper for color, and it's got some kind of coating on it, and it's 100 pound, so it's nice and heavy. It's not like the crap you get at Hobby Lobby. And it would be great for matte finished photos. And actually, Dee Dee, didn't you tell me, Dee Dee may not even be around, but that this is what they print for your prints at Office Max or wherever you go. But it is a really nice paper, you guys. But I have to say, some of my pens were just like, yeah, we're not crazy about this paper. Just saying. All right, paper. Can I send 6 for 6 and an extra for you? That's going to mess up my math, Artie Dar. I ordered the paper off of Amazon. You have to do everything on Amazon, don't you? Isn't that the rule of the world? All right, here's the paper cutter. All right, this is how to get 10 ATCs out of an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet paper. Okay, the first cut is at 3.5 inches. Okay, and this is why I hate this stupid ass cutter, because it's never accurate. I swear mine would be far more accurate. But anyway, I'm just showing you. So at 3.5 inches, you're going to make your first cut. Put that aside. Your next cut is going to be at 2.5 inches. And that should leave you with a piece 2.5 inches. Okay? And add it up. 2.5 and 2.5 is 5, plus 3.5 is 8.5 by 8.5 inches. So you've got one panel 3.5 inches. You've got two panels 2.5 inches. Flip it this way. Cut this one at 2.5 inches. Two and a half inches. Two and a half inches. And 2.5 inches. So you get 4 2.5 by 3.5 out of the 3.5 inch cut. This is scrap. Don't save it. Throw it away. No, it's when you want to print good quality from home. Okay. Actually, you know what I did go shopping for on Friday? Laser printer. I didn't buy it yet, but I found one that I think I'm going to buy. I think I've just decided I'm sick and tired of inkjet printers. So are we swap prints or original art? Original art, Artie Dar. Well, you know what? Now that I say that, I don't guess it really matters, Dar. Dar, she gets one and 5 people get the others. You know what? I guess prints wouldn't matter either. You could just make one and do prints. I may be done. Woohoo! Especially if I buy a laser printer. So on the 2.5 inch strips, you're going to cut it at 3.5 inches. No, these paper cutters they're garbage. I do have one that has the arm that comes down, but I'm afraid to let Robert see I have it because he'll cut off his fingers. I don't care how precise you try and get, they're not accurate ever. So that little piece is waste. Throw it away. And same with this. Cut it at 3.5 inches. And when you're done, you have 10 perfect 2.5 by 3.5 inch ATC cards with almost no waste. You're welcome. Trash. Don't save scraps if you want to keep your sanity. I think circles would be okay, Barbara. Yeah. Just make sure that they're 2.5 inch diameter. So there you go. 10 cards. Yeah, I think coins would be fine because if you make one of these holders, your coin is going to fit in there perfectly anyway. Right? Alrighty. So any questions on that little doodad project? It's a great little project. It really is. And this one will be given away. Should we do the giveaway now, since you guys suffered through that whole thing? I think this is going to glue just fine. I can see that it's holding, or that it's touching, so it's fine. Do you want to do the giveaway now? Does all Zentangle look the same to you guys? It doesn't to me, but I'm afraid that a lot of people looking at it would just go, well, it's all the same. It all looks all the same to me, but it doesn't to me. Oh, and I have another. This one is going to be mine. I'm going to paint the inside black, but this is going to be my ATC. And I did just one design on it. I just think I love this design. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Blink. Yeah, so this will be mine. Cool, huh? You're suffering. So this was a really simple one. It's just one design. Yeah. And as you can tell, I love checkerboard. This one I did candy cane. But yeah, I love the checkerboard border. And the thing I like about it is when this is tucked in, the border's still there. And it's hidden underneath. So you too can make this in an afternoon. This would not take you. I did this design yesterday afternoon, maybe an hour before dinner, and a couple hours after, and I had it completely done. So it's not like you're going to spend years doing this. How do you participate in the swap? You decide that you're going to do it, and you email me so I can give you my address. That's the only reason. Anybody who has my address is welcome to join. If I know you're joining, I'll keep an eye out for your cards. Okay, so there's my email address. If you email me and tell me that you want to participate in the swap, I will send you my home address, and then you got to make your cards and mail them in. And included in that, I forgot this, but it's really important, include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Now that's going to be really hard for the international people, so I'll have to pay the international, and that's fine. I like you guys kind of enough to do that. But I want it to be, I want everybody to be eligible. Thank you, Alexandra. Hi, by the way. Can you have it? Artie Dar, you don't know what might come back in your package. You just never know. So anyway, let's do the giveaway now. The swap is a Zentangle 2.5 by 3.5 inch card. You have to make 6. You'll get 5 in return. Send them to me, and I will swap them out. The deadline is June 1st. Did I answer all the questions, Dee Dee? Do you have to follow set designs? No, Kathleen, I do put out a list every month, or I have been since November, putting out a list of Zentangle prompts for the whole month, just because I think people are enjoying them. Usually, Barbara, if you put 2 stamps on it, it's more than enough. A first-class stamp in the United States, now anywhere else in the world, I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend. But a legal size envelope, a number 10, a first-class postage stamp will mail up to approximately 6 8.5 by 11 inch 20-pound sheets. So that'll give you an idea of what you can stick in an envelope. But just to be on the safe side, I would probably put 2 stamps on, and that's going to cost you $1. And then on the inside, you want to go ahead and put the same postage on it. So to participate in the swap, it's going to cost you $2 American and your time. Got that? So you don't have to use the prompts that I've been putting out, but if you want to see the prompts, follow me on IG. I don't even know what my name is there. Yeah. And I'll keep putting out lists as long as you guys are enjoying doing them. Do they have to be in the... Oh, no, 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 no. Do not send me the wallet. No. All I want is 6 individual cards and a self-addressed stamped envelope. Yep, artist choice for a theme. Just do your best. And you'll get 6 from other artists in return. Right? Okay, Barbara says I'm Janet Merle on IG. Hi, Barbara Clark, by the way. And do not follow the one that has the... I'm going to go over and tell you guys. There's a butthead on IG who has used my name and my photo, and I think they put an underscore at the end. I'll tell you what mine is in just a second. Okay, you can find me, just use Janet Merle Young. Okay, and somewhere, yeah, the person has used Janet Merle underscore in my photo, but it's not me, and I just don't want you guys to get scammed. Do I have live chat? Yeah, I have live chat. Why, have I missed some chat, Dee Dee? But yeah, do not send this. Oh, and then yeah, do sign your art. Always sign your art. Anytime you do a swap or anything where you're sending it out, yeah, sign your art. Anyone with a paper cutter, if it slides through the cutter rails, it's safe. What? What is number 14 on the April list? Number 14 is, it's called Rolleiflex. Not Rolodex, Rolleiflex. I don't remember what it looks like. I can look it up real quick. Roloflex, but I'm not sure if it has a dash or anything, so I can look real quick. I can look. Give me just a second and I'll look it up for you. Did I cut it off or something, Marie? I just do this. This is tanglepatterns.com. It's where you can find just more, yeah, it's Rolleiflex, all one word, Roloflex. Here's what it looks like. Very cool. I like it a lot. I haven't done. So, yeah. For those of you who are maybe new to Zentangle and going to try it for the first time, it should be on tanglepatterns.com. But honestly, you can find a bunch of patterns on Pinterest. Just Google it and you'll be shocked at the amount of material that's out there about Zentangle. It's just mind-boggling. And there are some people that honestly are just so amazing. And don't worry about what others are going to think or say about your cards. Honestly, I think you should know all of us well enough by now to know that we're going to celebrate your participation. We're not going to judge your work. We're not going to judge you harshly. We're going to be happy that you participated. So, one stamp if it slides through the paper cutter rail where the blade slides. Well, look at you, Artie Dar, being all smart and stuff. Listen to Artie Dar. She's all smart and stuff. I love Zentangle too. And honestly, to me, it's so relaxing. It really is. To do a pattern over and over and over again, I don't know why, but for my pea-sized brain, I just find that to be so relaxing. And I love the results when you're done. It's just like you have to look at it and look at it and look at it. So, are you going to play with us, CB? CB just put a link in to some Pinterest. CB, is that where you found that one pattern you gave me? Because I love that, and I've never been able to find it, and I don't have a name for it. And you probably don't remember it, but yeah, you can find the designs anywhere. And I've shown it before, but I'll show it again. This actual cover, this cover, is all the Zentangle patterns. I might have to pull this camera out a little bit. But this is my Zentangle notebook. And this poster on the front, sorry for the glare, you guys. I hate that glare. Let me, these are all the March patterns that I published. I'm going to show it to you right now, CB. Because I can't make a card for it. I did an entire sheet of it because I loved it so much. But I don't have a name for it. Here, I'm going to show it to you. This one, right here. I did the whole sheet. Can you see that? This one. Isn't that a cool pattern? I love that pattern, but I don't have a name for it or anything, so, yeah. Okay, Mary, great. And Kathleen finds it very relaxing. Hi, Kathleen, by the way. And I've done some colors, Zentangle, and I'm going to be honest, it's not that I don't like it, but I just don't enjoy it as much as I like the black and white. Here's some color. I don't like it as much as I like the black and white. So, Right Zangle Stars. What's that? So, yeah. I'm going to say let's try and keep our swap at black and white. Should I do that, or should I decide that we could do color? I guess it should be artist's choice, right? I think the black and white is really classy looking too. Plus, the thing I like best about Zentangle is the shading. That's what makes it just pop out, in my opinion. But yeah, you guys decide. It's called Bugle. Okay. Bugle. That reminds me of those little things that you used to put on your fingers to eat. The little snack food called Bugles. I should be able to remember that. Thank you, CB. I will write that little bad boy down. Here's another kind of cover for Post-it notes that I made. I don't know. I made these, I think, for my mother's friend. I don't remember now, but yeah. They were like little giveaway gifts or something. Now, that's been a long time ago because my mother's been dead 19 years. Thanks, CB. Artist's choice. I can't do color, but would love to have someone else's if they can do it. Okay. Hi, Ashley. Okay, it's due by June 1st. Do you think that's doable? What I see in your pattern, right? Zangle. Okay. June 1st, yeah. So, but anyway, most of you have seen this. This is how I store my Zentangle patterns. And it's in here alphabetically in baseball card sleeves. So, but honestly, I think if I had to do it over again, as much as I love this notebook, and I do love this notebook, if I had it to do over again, I think I would do it on a Rolodex card thing, right? Because if you do it alphabetically and you do it this way, you have to leave blanks to fit cards in. Otherwise, you're constantly moving these things. But a Rolodex, you could go right to the spot and slap it in there. But it's not there. It wouldn't be as much fun to look at as this or to flip through. So there's that. I like doing this too, making little frames. I've done this, you know, just like as an insert into a card or something. Let me try and yank it out. But you can get, what are the, pop dots or whatever. But all I did was take the styrofoam paper plates and cut it into strips so that I could make a pop-up frame and do a quote. This one says, every day do something that will inch you closer to a better tomorrow. That's good advice, right? And then just did the frame in Zentangle. But it pops up a little bit if you can see that, right? Or you don't have to do the pop-up. That one doesn't have the pop-up. But I just like that pop-up. I thought it was kind of cool looking. So, yeah, get on it. Get on it. If you have questions, you can just message me on IG or Twitter or catch me at DD's, whatever works for you guys. But yeah, June 1st, 6 cards, you'll get 5 back. And in the meantime, you can make yourself a cool little matchbook holder thing for them, right? Yeah, just cut up styrofoam plates. Yeah, Rolodex. I think Rolodex is genius because you've already got the alphabet deal going on, the cards, everything. But actually, cards on a ring wouldn't be bad either, Barbara. That's a pretty good idea. When doing color, use colored. Yeah, it just does. Hi, Janice. It just doesn't look the same to me. I don't know why, and it's probably just me. So, any other questions before I move on? Because I can either Zentangle now or I was going to swatch my Daniel Smith dots. I bought this. I showed it to you guys months ago. It seems like months. Maybe it was just a month. But I bought these paint dots from Daniel Smith to try out some of their watercolors. And I've never swatched it or used it, and I want to do them. The theme is Zentangles, yes. So your card will end up looking something like this. Right? Or a coin, whichever. Actually, a coin sounds kind of fun, too. Yeah, and Dar said you can do one and then print it 5 times. But if you print it 5 times, you know, either mount it on a piece of cardstock or, you know, give it some substance anyway. You love Daniel Smith watercolors. I have some, but, and honestly, I have both Daniel Smith and M. Graham's, and I love them both a bunch. And I don't know if they make the M. Graham dots like this. But I thought, boy, it would be nice to see all the colors. Because one of the things, yeah, they do look like the candy. To me, greens are just a pain in the butt. So I thought, well, I'm going to get the test dots, and then I have the actual, I can see the actual color. Because when you're ordering on screen, you're not going to get an accurate depiction of what the color actually is. And these paints are pricey enough that it's probably not wise to just take a flying guess, right? So that's what I was thinking I would do, just because I want to play with my stuff, and I just haven't taken time. I've just had a lot to do lately, I guess. Oh, tomorrow. Robert's daughter's coming tomorrow. They were supposed to be here over the weekend, or yesterday, and then she didn't come, and it was just like, God, what is going on? Well, she was making arrangements to connect with her son, who lives in Arkansas. So they're both coming tomorrow, but I have an appointment tomorrow. Damn it. Oh, I'll have to figure that out. I don't know why that popped in my head right now. Because I've been busy. That's one of the reasons. All right. So because I have no other plan, I'm either going to Zentangle. If you guys want me to, I'll just sit here and Zentangle this last thing that I bought or made. Or I'll swatch my Daniel Smith. And I just thought I would do it in here because I have swatches of a lot of the Primas, a lot of the different sets I have. This is just my little swatch book, even though this is not how I really keep my swatches. Do the color dots. Okay. So this is just a little book. It's, I don't remember. It's a field artist watercolor journal, My World Square. And I tuck stuff in books all the time. So, yeah. So I think just so I have a place to go look. And these are just notes that I keep about watercolor that I need to put in here. So, all right, let's do... And I think I'm just going to use a water brush, so I don't get everything sopping ass wet, right? Let's try one. Let's try it, because I'm excited to... Yes, and I was going to save this book exclusively for swatches, but then I ended up doing some other paintings in it. This one still isn't shaded, but I've done some other paintings in it. This was a DD 2x2 inch challenge, take 2. Wonder what happened to take 1. Oh, here was take 1. So this was desserts. And you guys, I had been watercoloring, I don't know, not very darn long when I did these. And I was dang proud of myself, I'm telling you. The Perylene Green, you know who gets credit for that, Jan, is Kathy Arbor, because I was pissing and moaning about green watercolors are just such a headache in my world. And actually, one of these notes, wait. I don't remember who I was watching, and hopefully it's in here. She gave a bunch of recipes for mixing greens. It's Michelle Weber. And she does watercolor tips and tricks and do's and don'ts and stuff like that. She gave a bunch of different recipes for using Viridian Green, Phthalo Green, Emerald, and these are all Jackman's. And another name brand of Emerald Green. And then using yellows that go with it. So I have been able to mix some greens, but I'm kind of lazy for that. So, thank you, Peggy. Hi, by the way. Curbside pickup for... Well, you need to get rid of those fleas and ticks, Dar. You've got to be terribly uncomfortable. So anyway, I do like Michelle Weber for her tips and tricks kind of things. What else? Here's some drawings that I haven't painted yet. I forget. You Are Enough. Now, I don't know why I'm doing sketches, but yeah. So it's just a fun little book, but I thought I would do the swatches in here because when I forget where they are, this will be the first place that I look. I don't know where you were, Dar. I think you were off getting married and living real life. Thanks, CB, for giving him free advice about... All right, let me think. Now, most of you would just start swatching. I know Dee Dee, she would just open a book and just start swatching like crazy. I can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to try, because I don't want to have to write out all of the names. I guess it wouldn't matter if I did, but I really don't want to have to do that. So I'd rather do, let me think here. I think what I'm going to do is do a measurement, which shouldn't surprise you guys. There's 6 across on each of these cards. There's 6 across and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 down. So there's 60 colors on each sheet. And there's 1, 2, 3. Holy crapola, look at all these colors. I love this. I love it so much. Okay, so I'll try and get 60 little swatches on each of these little pages, and I'll do 4 pages. How about that? Now watch me do the math. All right. So I need 10 measurements down, and that's 4 3/4 inches. So that would be 4. All right, I'll just use the 5-point type. Oh, I'm going to leave, let's see, this is 62, so I'm going to leave 1 at the top. You guys probably go crazy watching me do this math crap, but I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, that'll work. Y'all don't need to know these measurements. So I need 10, so I'll need to mark every 6. 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. All right, that'll work, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That works. And I only need 6 across. So this way I'll go 10. And then the swatches will be laid out. You have 168 colors, Rhonda? Oh, man. H is softer. No, HB is softer than H. Just think of H standing for hard. H is the lightest pencil. HB is the equivalent of a number 2. And a real soft lead will be B. Let's see how many are in this, if it ever says how many are actually in here. All right, well, we can do the math real quick because we know that there's 60, so that would be 180, and then this is... All right, so we'll just do the math real quick. And I'm such a... Well, I can do the math. Hang on. Looks like there's 238. So you need to get shopping, Rhonda, because you don't have all of them. I didn't know that they have all these interference colors. Oh my gosh. And I'm not huge metallic, glittery kind of person, but man, those are nice. Really nice. I'm so excited to do this now. Rhonda gets to go shopping. I actually am going to go shopping myself, and I'll just use my T-square to get these lines about as straight as I can. And I don't care if they're exact, because I'm going to erase the lines when I'm done, so just as long as it's somewhat uniform, that'll make me happy. And I know y'all are probably sitting there going, God, this girl is so anal. And I won't argue. I already said that once this stream. I won't argue even a little bit. But honestly, I'm not actually this anal about everything. I'm really not. Some things in life I can pretty much overlook and go with the flow. Alright, that's pretty uniform. See, that didn't take very long. Hey, Scooby-Doo! You think you're up to 40 so far? They're your most favorite out there? You know, I have a hard time telling the difference between a Daniel Smith and an M. Graham. Honestly, they're both such good quality. But I will say, too, like, there's some lesser expensive brands that are just as good, in my opinion. I can't remember which measurement I was using. The one that had 62. Bear with me a minute. Okay, 5 point. No, I was using 10 this way, right? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, yeah. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Oh, you can't get M. Grams. I should pour you a couple pans of them just so you can see, because I can't tell the difference a whole lot. They both wet so beautifully. Like I'll show you. I'll pull mine out here real quick. Like the Hansa Yellow, when you paint them on the paper, there is zero difference. Zero difference. But the Mission Gold, I love them. Their colors are so nice and vibrant. White Nights, I'm not that crazy about, but they do re-wet real nice. I just think they're a little bit chalkier. And that's what you get when you buy the artist grade. Is not only are they light fast and blah blah blah, you can depend on that the colors are going to be the same recipe, right? Because they're using the same dyes. So, and then it just becomes a matter of preference, you know. I don't necessarily think you need the most expensive or anything like that. I don't think that at all. But after having used a few different ones now, I do have a definite feel for which ones I have a preference for. Because I'm a hoity-toity watercolor person over here now. And if you don't believe me, just stick around and I'll tell you. You know, I'm just swatching the Daniel Smith Scooby-Doo. I bought these little dot cards because I have some Daniel Smith. I couldn't find out if M. Graham had the dot cards, or I probably would have bought the M. Graham. But in my wooden box, this up here, all these up here to here are Daniel Smith that Cooey gave me. These down here are all the M. Grahams. So, I mean, I've been able to test a lot of them, but when these pans are done, that's all I have. So I have none of the Daniel Smith in tubes. I do have some of the M. Grahams, quite a few of them actually. If we were swatching all my watercolors, Scooby, you guys would have to bring a picnic lunch and a sleeping bag. So yeah, we're just going to play with these. And I just had to... Alright, on here I'm going to write that this is... Yeah. I'll start with the last two cards. No, I can do the first two because I left an extra page. Sometimes I'm so damn smart I can't even stand it. Alright, so this is the first page I'm going to do. And I do like to... This is another crazy thing. People organize their watercolors all different ways, right? But I always start with, like, the whites, and this has buff titanium first, and then yellow, orange, red, and go through the rainbow that way. That's just the way I like organizing them, and then I know where they are, right? It's another goofball thing. Alright. We're going to see. I guess I should have tested to make sure that this... Okay, I think the water brush was clean. I was going to say, that would be just like me, is to... Okay. Happy birthday!
Thank you.
And I'm going to lay these out in the same order that they're on the card. So I don't have to write all the names, right? Because that just seems painful. And if I don't like this water brush, I'll go get myself another one. This one seems to be working pretty good. It would be fun, a sleepover picnic. That would be awesome. Okay, I think these colors are actually going down, but I'm going to lay them out just exactly like this card. So when it comes time to go buy some, with any luck at all, with my stimulus check, I would be able to pick the color and just go back and refer to the card, right? Hey, Kathy Arbor. I'm finally swatching my Daniel Smith cards. You know what? I don't... This brush seems to not be wanting to puke out water. So I don't know. Does anybody know? Does M. Graham have dot cards? Because I would buy theirs too. All we did earlier, Cass, was I showed you guys how to make a Zentangle matchbook cover to store the cards that we're going to swap. And if you came in late, oh, look at how pretty that is. We're going to do a Zentangle ATC 2.5 by 3.5 inch card swap. Make 6 cards, get 5 back. I get to keep one because I am the person in charge. I love being the person in charge. Anyway, Due to me by June 1st, you must include a self-addressed stamped envelope. I think that's everything that I need to say. So this one is Rhodonite Genuine. That's a really pretty pink. Oh, see, now I want to order that. Pink is another really weird watercolor color. And I know you guys are saying, why don't you just spread out some of that paint on the card? Because that would be too easy. I want to actually play with them. That's what this is all about. You have these dots, you just swatched them on the dot card itself. See, Kathy just said it. I could do that. I could do that, Kathy, and I actually thought of that. Why don't you just swatch them on the card? Because this is playing with them. And I get to keep it in my little book. Because what's the fun of having little books if you don't put your cool stuff in them? That's how I look at it. And honestly, you guys, they don't give you enough paint that you could actually do a painting with these. And this is Nickel Titanate Yellow. That's a very different color yellow. I can see how it would be very usable, however. Dulled down. Can you guys see okay, or you want me to come in? You're in for the swap? Yay, Kathy. Let me go ahead and put my email address. I don't know if you have my home address, but one thing you're going to need to participate is my home address, where to mail the cards to. So let me put my email address in one more time. Because I'm not going to publish my home address. So if you'll just email me and tell me you're in, I will email you back my home address. And the only thing I ask is if you show up here in person, just bring presents and food and iced coffee. Really, the price of admission at my house is literally iced coffee. I'm not sure I'm loving this water brush. But it's easier than getting a real paintbrush out, so. Yeah, and I can do a little bit of gradient. A lot of these colors, Kathy, tell me if you thought the same thing. They're so close that by swatching them and seeing the actual colors, I wouldn't buy multiple colors, you know? And that's why I keep my swatches. I think most of you have seen the way I keep my actual paint swatches or watercolor swatches or anything. I'll show you. Don't make fun of me. Well, make fun of me, I don't care. Okay, this would be a watercolor swatch. Somebody shoot me now. Oh my God. You'd want new watercolors? Nah, bring iced coffee and we'll play with mine because I only have a few. But I do them on these little cards so I can compare the colors, and I don't know which are which, so I can pick out my favorite red, and then on the back of the card it will tell me, see, that was the one I picked out, it's M. Graham Naphthol Red. But at the same time, I can compare it to all the other reds that I have. Now some of these are just caca watercolors. I put them all on here, doesn't matter. I just got the colors I find difficult to mix or use a lot of. Yes, see, Kathy, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I think too, Rhonda. You don't need that many different reds. Like this red, in my world, this red, and no, this is more orange red. But I can compare the colors and say, well, I have this in Pretty Excellent, and I also have it in Prima. And a lot of these are the Prima colors, you guys. And I had this obsession with their little houses, so I bought all the Primas. There's only one set of Prima I don't have. and I went and ordered it, and they sent me a different one. So, yeah. Okay. But actually, Kathy, I gave you credit earlier because I had repeated your recommendation for the Perylene green, because dark green to me was just an impossible color to find, or green that I actually liked. And Lady Jan thanked me for it, but I couldn't take credit because you were the one who told me about it. So, this water brush is pissing me off. But greens to me are the hardest colors. Yeah, I'm getting a different brush because this is just really pissing me off now. I've got one that releases water a whole lot better than this one. I'm making a freaking mess. And I haven't watercolored in a few weeks, you guys, because I was getting ready for company, and then company came, and then no sooner did that company leave than now I got more company coming, so that one's garbage. Hang on. I'm going to go get my favorite water brush. It's on the couch. You wouldn't think that there's that big a difference, but I guess maybe it's me. I get attached to certain supplies, and then everything else has to measure up to them. This one lets out the perfect amount of water. Now watch. See how much easier? I'm not fighting it. Should have done it an hour ago. This will go a lot quicker now. But yeah, I do have one of the drawings to do your paint along, Kathy. But I've just been too darn busy. I wish I wasn't, but I have been just too darn busy. When this is all done, it's going to be like a really pretty page of just color. Share the knowledge. No lie. Honestly, that if there's one thing I would say about this community is that we are so fortunate to have so many people with so many different interests, and if you have a question about anything, you'll meet up with somebody who can answer it for you. This one's the Rose Madder Permanent. That's a really nice pink too. And I suppose if you go online, you could find recipes for most of these colors. But that would take some effort, wouldn't it? You live in a forest and was getting frustrated by all the blue greens out there. I hear ya. Boy, I've been there, done that. I don't want to lose track of what row I'm on. And some of these colors, I think, are more true to what you might find in nature than others. Like some colors, they're strictly imagination. You're not going to see these anywhere in real life, I don't think. Well, maybe some sunsets. Oh, this brush is so much better than that one I was trying to fight with. I ought to just throw that other piece of crap away. honestly, you should probably never go from your paint directly to your paper. That's why sometimes I put it off on this side, because I know it's just going to be too much if I go directly. Lots of pinks. Opera pink. I have that in Mission Gold. That's a color I don't think you ever really see in nature, but it's sure pretty. But look at all these magenta-ish type colors. How many of those do you need for real? Especially if you're not a flower painter. The community is a blessing to me since you lost your hubby. Yeah, I think there's a lot of us like that, Mary Berry. That without this community, who knows what amount of contact we'd have with others who share the same interests. Like, you can meet people online, for sure, but people who have your same interest and, you know, that you can actually relate to in any sense. I mean, I could go hang out with a bunch of gamers too, but I have nothing in common with those people. And I'd go there and I'd probably just end up lecturing them. No, I think this community is a lifesaver for a lot of people. And I've lost a husband too, Mary Berry. I know how hard that can be, how alone you can feel. So, but you never have to feel alone when you got us. Throughout the day, there's usually always somebody online. I have Daniel Smith Potter's Pink. It's a really good color. It doesn't look pretty, but it's really useful. Kathy, you might know, Kathy Arbor. Does M. Graham make these same dot cards? Are you aware? Let it go, let it go, let it go, let the brush go. I do love the core watercolor too. See, I've never tried those, but I know you do like those. And somebody else, maybe it was you, I don't remember. Somebody was talking about the Holbeins, and I'm not going to order any more expensive watercolors. I'm going to order specific colors of the brands that I like. No more sets for me. Because I find that there's certain colors that I'm just drawn to, that I go back to over and over again. So yeah. And I have enough paint, honestly, to last me a lifetime. Why I even consider buying more, I don't even know. But I'm always shopping. Speaking of always shopping, Amy comes to mind. Amy got a job, so she won't be around. Well, she works. She's going to be working nights, so maybe during the day. But yeah. My little Amy's got a job now, so you checking Amazon for M. Graham? I think I checked there, Mary Berry. I wasn't able to find it, and then I probably got sidetracked before I got to Blick or Jerry's. But I saw this on Amazon, and actually this was such an impulse purchase. I think I was ordering something for Robert. Because I think I was ordering air conditioning capacitors or some damn thing that I just thought, what a waste of a trip by UPS. I better order something fun. So I think that's what I did when I ordered his air conditioner capacitors. I just ordered this so that the box when it came was fun. because otherwise the box would have been really stinky. Schminka. Yep. Ooh, Perylene Violet is an interesting color. Watch this one. Dark, dark purple. Oh, that's interesting. Now, I don't have any color that's even close to that. I'm not sure what I would do with it if I ordered it, but it sure is interesting. I'm going to look in my swatch thing here and see if I have anything close. No, I don't have anything anywhere close to that. Maybe the closest would be Aquatone. Aubergine. That's a really interesting color. Yeah, that's not in. Yeah, they're nowhere close. Huh. You thinking about Inktense Blocks? I've been watching Tanya McGuire. I like the blocks. I think they're a little harder to use than, say, watercolors like these. So I think it depends on what you want to do with them, because you can use them just like watercolors for sure. The nice thing about them is they are permanent. Probably the best thing about them is they are permanent when dry. So that's a real advantage, because other watercolors are not permanent. When you re-wet them, I mean, some of them are pretty staining. You're not going to move them completely, but the Inktense, when they're dry, because they are ink, they are not watercolors. They just they can act like watercolors, but they're actually ink. So I like the Inktense. I've never done an actual painting with them. I use them for backgrounds and to play with a lot, but I've never done an actual painting or anything with them. But they're nice. But they're not going to have the same properties as a watercolor. They are transparent, but after they're dry, they won't move. Yeah, and you can grade them and make sprays with them and stuff like that. Now, I tried that, and honestly, I thought it was really hard. And I bought the Derwent grader and everything. I thought they were really hard to dissolve to make sprays. But I mean, you can do it. But I just didn't think they dissolved as readily. And another thing is, I don't know if I want to say they're chalkier. They just don't have the re-wetting capabilities, I guess, that regular watercolors have, because the binder is different and they're ink, not watercolor, right? That one's really nice too. The Cobalt Violet, that's a really, really soft pink. I like that. You have a set of the Inktense pan. You know the ones I really like, the watercolors that Dee Dee, I guess for my birthday last year, talked me into getting myself the Graphitint pencils. And I love them. And I love them to sketch with if I'm going to do a watercolor, because they are water soluble. Graphitint by Derwent. They came out with a pan set of watercolors that I just love. They're very muted. I'll get them out and show them if anybody wants to see them. But they're real muted colors. And they're really, really nice to work with. Yeah, the Cobalt Violet. Yeah, it's a real, real soft pinkish purple. It's awesome. But again, you almost have to be a flower painter or something to use that. I'll probably sit down and play with the colors that I actually have and see how many of these I can come close to either mixing or look up, whatever. Because it's not my goal to own all of everything. In fact, I've been doing really good not buying anything. Just because I tell myself, how bad do you need that? Where are you going to put it? How often are you going to use it? And then I realize most of the crap that I think I need or want, I don't need or want at all. Okay, that one was Quinacridone Lilac. This is another color. It's beautiful, but how often would you really use it? And this is Cobalt Violet Deep. I think I'm going to like it. Yep. What is the binder in Daniel Smith paints? Does anybody know? Is it honey? Because sometimes it's slimy like the ones I've tried that are honey binders. You don't have the pencils? You have the paint pans of Graphitint. They're awesome, right, Dabbler? I really enjoy them, I have to say. And I wish they would come out with more colors. That's what I wish. But until I start using them more, I shouldn't be buying any damn thing, that's for sure. Ooh, this one's really pretty too. This is Aussie Red Gold. Of course, I have a bunch that are very similar to this. And, oh, I turned on my desk lamp. That's why it looks funny. Yeah, I think I have colors that are very similar to this. Let me see. I have, yeah, it's very close to the Quin Gold. And I have the Aussie Red Gold. Okay, no wonder I liked it. I need to actually reorganize those paints and do a new swatch card for those. I do love my wooden box, though. That's Pyro Scarlet. I'm pretty sure I have that, too. Good color to have. Alizarin Crimson. I will make marks on these pages of the ones that I have when I'm all done. Swatching is such a funny thing to do on stream. Gum Arabic, thanks, Rhonda. Yeah, there's kind of a, I want to say, slimy feel to some of these colors. They do re-wet beautifully, though. If you're thinking about trying them, you won't be disappointed with that. And this is Ultramarine Red. And I haven't looked. I should look. There's a little code on this card. I want to see what that's about. If it tells you the colors that they mix. Series 1, 284, 600, 107. I1Y, is that what that says? Yeah, I1Y. So that code probably stands for some mix, right? Yeah, Kathleen, I think every one of us could say that same thing. That you bought stuff and then if you're like me, you always go back to your old favorites. I always go back to my old favorites every time. So I end up with a bunch of stuff that I don't use that much, which tells me I could have lived without it. Now, one nice thing, when my granddaughter was here, I let her take stuff home. So it wasn't a waste, right? She gets to try cool stuff that I tried and didn't need her one. So that's a good thing. And she's a crafty little thing, so she appreciates it. Alright, this is Perylene Scarlet. That's really light. Of course, I guess I could darken it, but not your typical red. I just like seeing all the colors. Okay, Kathleen, go have a good afternoon. We'll catch you later. I hope you guys are arting in the background. I do that a lot when I'm watching streams. I'm either arting or cleaning, picking up a mess that I've created, which is 90% of my time. There's the first page. All right, now I'm going to write on here because my intentions are always so good. And I don't think I would forget, but you never know. Hang on. So I just wrote that that is page 1 of the Daniel Smith dots. So next week when I have my Alzheimer's, I'll remember what it was. I am sketched the flowers you posted. You'll paint them tomorrow. Yay! Tomorrow, Kathy, I may or may not be there tomorrow depending on what time the kids come. Yeah, I don't know. I asked Robert. Robert's so funny. He never asks questions. Like, maybe I'm just a nosy wench. I probably am a nosy wench, and I'll be the first to admit it. But anyway, here's a conversation with Robert about the kids coming. He'll come and tell me, Jackie's going to be here the 11th. Okay, cool. Is her husband coming with her? I don't know. Is she going to spend the night? I don't know. Is she going to be here for dinner? I don't know. That would entail follow-up questions, right? So you just sit around and wait because you don't know anything. And I know I could also pick up the phone and call. But wouldn't you ask, like, was Jimmy coming with you? Usually he doesn't because she has other stuff to do when she's here. But I would certainly ask the question. So that those are what our conversations are like. Jimmy coming? I don't know. She going to spend the night? I don't know. Because it might make a difference if I change the sheets on the bed or plan a meal. Right? Okay, Diana. Let me write that down because I'll lose that sure as heck. Okay, hopefully I can match those two things up. could be that all men are like that. I don't know. But sometimes information be way cool. Birthday boy just walked in the room. I'm telling him how you don't ask questions.
You're doing what now?
I'm telling him that you suck at asking questions.
Why do I suck at asking questions?
Jackie, is Jimmy coming?
Oh.
Are you going to spend the night? Are you going to be here for dinner? What time might you be here?
I'll call her here in a minute.
No, now that I know it's tomorrow, I'm fine. And we do probably want to know if Nathan's coming and if he's spending the night.
Okay.
But that's pretty much, yeah. CB said, hey, Robert Vaughn, happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you.
And then she added, you really suck at asking questions. No, she didn't. Yeah, he's busy building the flux capacitor. Yeah, so he can go back to 1929. Ooh, that's a bright, bright blue. And for those of you who don't know what Mary's talking about, go watch Miss Linux, Linux 2020, her story about time travel. Has Robert Vaughn in it. Quite the celebrity. I wonder if he'd ask questions if he went back to 1929, like, what year should I invest in Microsoft? That would have been a really good question, right? But Robert wouldn't have asked it. What thing should I invest in before not the year 2000 so that I can retire comfortably? No. He'd be like, what kind of motor's in that thing you got there? Just saying. Not bad-mouthing, just recognize the person. Purples, blues, and greens. This is going to be a really pretty page when it's done. Ooh, indigo. Probably one of my very favorite colors, in all honesty. Love me some indigo blue. But it was 1929. Yeah, they probably wouldn't even know anything about computers or what was in our future, right? So he would have to tell them that there'll come a day where everybody has a personal computer. And it's funny because my first husband and I, Jim, when they were talking about home computers, and he worked for IBM, so he was a computer nerd. Anyway, but he worked for IBM back when computers took up entire gymnasiums, you know, like huge computers. But we used to laugh about when they were talking about home computers, that it was a solution looking for a problem. Because, I mean, could any of us have imagined, say in our youth, when we were children or even teenagers or even high school in my world, what are you going to do with a personal computer? Because you couldn't imagine the internet, right? So what, I'm going to store my recipes on a computer? What, I'm going to put my date book on there? What the hell do you need a computer for? And could any of us, honestly, in our wildest imaginations, envisioned what the computer has done for all of us? The good and the bad, right? Because there are some awesome things. I mean, doing homework in this day and age with a computer in your house, oh my God. If you could just even conceive of the number of hours I spent in libraries researching and doing stuff. Now you just sit in your kitchen or your bedroom, whatever, look that crap up on Google, and you got the whole universe at your fingertips. It's actually remarkable, really. Your first hubby was a software engineer? And Jim was more hardware, selling the hardware, and he could sell ice cubes to an Eskimo, I swear to God. But he knew all the technical stuff too. He started out at GM. Communications guru is actually what he was. But it really is remarkable. We're all so spoiled now. Everything's so dang easy. But you know, I wouldn't trade those hours and hours and time spent in the library. Going to the library and looking stuff up and checking out books. When I was a kid, that was my very favorite thing in the world. Going to the library and looking at books and doing research and checking them out and taking them home. I love that. And I was at my local library the other day. I went in to see if I could get copies made, but that's beside the point. It's been closed for a long time during the pandemic, right? And while I was standing there waiting, a mother came in with 4 little kids. And those 4 little kids were so excited to be back at the library. And they brought in a big old pile of books, and all of them were just over there scrambling all over those shelves. And I thought, God, I remember that feeling of which ones can I take home, you know? I love that. My brush is going to need water here in a minute. Ooh, that's a pretty blue. Indian Throne blue. That's really pretty. Let me see if I have that. And if I pronounce stuff wrong, sorry. I do, but it doesn't look that light. That doesn't even look like the same one. That's crazy. And Prussian blue, I love Prussian blue. You love the library? Yeah, I still love the library. Yep, my sister was huge Nancy Drew fan. And she was older than I was. So, of course, Mother hung on to him. And I read all the Nancy Drew. I don't know, do kids today read that stuff? I don't even know. I should ask my granddaughters. My guess is they do not, because they are glued to their phones. The only reading they do is sloppy messages from boys. I'm pretty sure. But do they read for enjoyment like I used to? Because that was, I think, probably my single favorite thing to do. Was to save up some money, go get a bag of M&Ms, lay on my bed and read a book. Ugh. Does that not sound like heaven? You should do that today. Ooh, this is pretty too. Carbazole violet? Carbazole? That's a really, really rich, pretty violet color. where in actuality the Amethyst Genuine probably is more likely to appear in nature. Yeah, I liked when we took Mary to the library. Honestly, Elaine, I never walk in that building that I don't think of Mary. And watching her walk back, they've actually changed the library all around, Elaine. It's so different now. That whole section up front where they have the genealogy, all that is the computer area now. I don't know where, if they even still have the genealogy. I'm sure they do because they have so many of the Indian records there. So I don't know where they moved it. But they moved the fiction to the front and the nonfiction to the back. So they've just changed it all around. And they got all new stuff. I'm not sure where they got all the money, but yeah, they've changed the library a lot. It's nice. The copier didn't work, but it's still nice. You need to drive over here so we can go eat at Raggedy's. I could use some Raggedy's pineapple salad. Oh wow, this one's really good. Cobalt green pale. I can't imagine. Look at that. Almost no color at all. The Hardy Boys mysteries too. Yup, my brothers read those. I'm sure I read them too. The children's book of poetry is worth $85. Oh my gosh. Your libraries in New York City converted 10 years ago to be pro-tech. What does that mean? You're going to have to explain that to a backwards Okie girl. We have old school libraries here. They do have computers for people to use though, which is nice. I like our money going for that. Ooh, that's pretty. Wisteria. That is a really, really pretty color. It's not too far from that pink that I was mentioning. You miss going to the library? Well, we can go back to ours now. It was closed for a while though. And I'm not sure if those people had jobs, you know, because I imagine, I don't know. I don't know what they did. I didn't talk to any of them. The lapis lazuli, I think, I don't have that in the Daniel Smith, but I think I have that in M. Graham in my tin of the Primatex. That looks really familiar. I do have this cerulean blue. Okay, reading tables taken out only for persons using computer. Really? Now we take all the books apart to make journals. No lie, Diana. They don't have reading lounges in your libraries? That's crazy. No, ours still has... there's a great big fun reading lounge in the kids area, and it has toys and stuff like that. And then in the back there's a great big reading area for adults, I guess. It's back in the nonfiction area, so if you're back there doing research or something, that you can, you know, sit down and use the table and stuff like that. That's crazy. So they discourage people using the actual library. Why am I not surprised in this day and age? Of course, most stuff you wouldn't even look up at the library anymore. You just get online and find it. Oh, what did I do? Alright, that's cerulean. I must have done two. Okay. Houston, we got a problem. I'm going to try and clean this up. Probably what I'm going to have to do is put a little label over this. I think I will. I'll just plan on, because there's no way I'm going to get that all up. So I would contaminate my green. Alright, this is how you fix a problem. Alright, I'm just going to cut it out of this page. Do I want to do that? Yeah, why not? Gotta fix it when I find it. Sorry, boys and girls. You'll never even know I did that. God, I need to shut up and pay attention to what I'm doing around here. Okay. In your mom's neighborhood, they hardly have any books. See, that's so sad. And I know people can read on their phones, and you know, they don't probably need to go to the library anymore, but I think there are still plenty of people out there who are not going to buy a book, who would still like to just borrow a book. I don't know. I think that's something really sad. We shouldn't let our libraries go away. But then again, I'm one of the old-fashioned people that finds value in them. In Midtown New York City, lots of the big libraries are shut down. They'll be sold to stock market offices. Almost all bookstores are gone. Wow. I don't know. It makes me sad, but I think there is a day coming in our future, honestly, where bookstores will be a thing of the past. I think it's horrible, and I think it's our job to try and preserve them, but that means you have to go frequent them. You have to go buy books rather than ordering them from Amazon. That's just the sad truth. Just saying. All right, let's do this again and try not to screw up. But I guess that's nostalgia, because if young people aren't going to go use the libraries, why pay to preserve them? You know, I mean, that's just the truth. So I think a lot of it's just nostalgia on my part. Because, I mean, I can't even imagine how many books I've read in my life. The number would be astounding, I think. But if I talk to my grandchildren and ask them, I'd be shocked if they've read a book in its entirety for enjoyment, okay? And I'm pretty sure they haven't read their school books either, but yeah. Yeah, Jan, that's why we used to take Mary to the library once a week, about every Wednesday. Elaine, Mary, and I went to the Grove Library and probably spent about an hour there, because Mary could get her large print books there. And of course then didn't have to buy the books because she lived in a real small place and didn't have the space for a book. But that provided Mary with almost, I would say, 80% of her entertainment, because Mary during the day would read rather than turn on the television. And she liked smut. I mean, not real smut, but she liked fiction books. A good story is what she was interested in. She wasn't reading how to build bombs or anything like that. She just liked a good storybook. But she could get them in big print there, and that was really, really valuable. Robot and Frank with Frank. Okay, I'll have to write that down, Jan. It makes me sad, but I'll read it. Good movie on Robot and Frank. Okay. Come on, pen, don't fail me now. Got it written down, Jan. I'll check that out. I love seeing on the internet places where people have started their own little local libraries, like on a lamppost or something. They just put a box out there and everybody puts boxes in. Puts books in. You can put a book in, take a book out. I think those are amazing. I love to see community cooperation like that. But I have to say, we have a secondhand bookstore in Tulsa, and I have been doing a little bit better about cleaning out some of my books that I've read that I'm probably never going to read again. And that place is always packed. Like, people flock to that crazy place like crazy. And I have to say, it's one of my favorite places to go. And it's nice because you can get some money back for your books. They give you like 50% of the value of the book toward trading it on another book. Okay, Barbara, that's what I'm talking about. Little free libraries where people just bring books, drop one off, take one. I just think that's awesome. We used to travel in an RV. And there were awful lot of RV parks that had those. And it was awesome because you couldn't keep books in your RV. Like you just had to read them and get rid of them because you didn't have space, right? So it was really nice. Wherever you stopped, you could always drop off your books and get a fresh batch. And I don't mind audiobooks, but it's just not the same as laying in bed reading a book. It's just not. And that's what I like to do when I go to sleep at night. Open a book and read it until my eyes get tired. Sometimes I put on headphones and listen to a lecture or something. I do that a lot too. But then I fall asleep with the headphones on, and I'm going to grow stuff in my ears, I'm afraid. Just a little swatch card, Dee Dee. Dee Dee understands books. It's a pretty page. I like it. And I haven't talked myself into buying any of the colors yet, which is a good thing. I'm not going to let myself buy anything until I start using them more. Summer is going to be really hard because, of course, it gets really hot here, but like right now, while the weather is so nice, Okay, I was just sitting here thinking, dang it, I screwed up again. But I didn't, so no worries. Yeah, while it's so nice out, I need to be outside. Because pretty soon it'll be so damn hot I won't want to be out there. And then I can stay in and paint, so. But right now, when the weather's too nice, it's like, no, I have stuff I want to do outside. Hopefully I'll get all the gardens cleaned up this weekend, or by the weekend. My hostas are really coming up. I need to get in that bed before they get too big, and I'm going to disturb them. And I need to prune my roses. I should have pruned my roses already. I'm late on rose pruning. That's kind of pretty. Cobalt teal blue. I don't have anything even close to that. You can't read books, otherwise you'd get nothing done. See, I pretty much do it late in the evening. I as a rule, unless I'm laying on the couch with a headache or something, I don't usually lay down and read during the day at all. But anytime after dinner, free game. And I'm doing these pretty light on purpose. That's phthalo yellow green. That's really pretty. Because the only really light green I have is M. Graham, the permanent green pale. And those two might be really, really close. This is the one, Perylene Green, that Kathy turned us on to, that I am in love with. And I think I ordered the M. Graham of this one. Let me see. I'll check. But I had to put it up with the Daniel Smiths because I didn't have room down below. It's a great system I've got. No, I got the Daniel Smith. Never mind. So I do have that one. I know it was sitting up with the Daniel Smith paints. Let me go get some fresh water. You bought books again because of Dee Dee? Dee Dee is going to be the ruination of all of us. But the cool thing about that, we're going to love life. And that's what's important. I'd have to say we're all pretty lucky people. That if we want books, we can buy books. You know, just, I don't know. I think we're so fortunate in so many ways. All right, last row. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Sugarlight Genuine. It looks really interesting. Kind of a steel gray, it looks like. Ooh, that is so pretty. I don't know what I would use it on, but boy, is that a pretty color. Can you guys see that? It's kind of a silvery gray. And I'm betting that that has real minerals in it. I'd have to guess, but yeah, that is some kind of pretty. Phthalo blue, I have this already. And fuchsite Genuine. That looks like it's got minerals in it. Oh, that's just lickable. I want to own that just to own it. Ah, that's so pretty. Fuchsite, I don't know. I'll spell it because I probably don't pronounce it right. Fuchsite, genuine. That is a luscious color. It's mint green. Oh, it's pretty. So here I am enabling again. Just buy the dots. I don't remember how much I paid for the dots, but it couldn't have been much because I would have said no to myself. Because you can't paint a picture. I mean, there's not enough paint here to actually paint a picture. This is truly just to try the colors. And that's permanent green. I think I have it. Yeah, I do have permanent green. Undersea green. Ooh, this one looks really interesting too. See, I really like the greens because I think greens in watercolor are really hard. Oh, that's a really interesting. It's kind of an olive. Yeah, just dark olive. Dark olive. Really pretty. Really pretty. Art reference books. Yeah, I own lots and lots of art books, and I don't feel a bit bad. And when I'm gone, they'll all end up at the book trader store or wherever, but I'll enjoy them while I'm alive. So all right, I'm going to hit this with the heat gun real quick so I can flip the page. That's pretty, right? Oops. All right, let me write on the edge here that this is page 2. So I can always go back and reference, right? That's what that's about. You would totally understand why I do that if you had my memory. Yeah, I'm liking that page a lot, those pages a lot now. I will erase the lines later after I'm sure they're fully dry, which they are. All right, we'll draw the graph, and we're almost out of time, and if you guys are sick of this, speak up. Does anybody want me to go over the rules of the Zentangle ATC swap again? Oh, you can say that again, Barbara. Yeah, no doubt about that. So which number was I using? 5 point. What did I say? It's 10 this way. Yeah, I'm not a fan of casinos for sure. When I lived in Colorado, they put on the ballot limited stakes gambling. And I was so opposed, but they thought it would save, I think it was 5 of the mountain towns that had been mining towns. Of course, there were still people living up in those towns. But it was hard to make money, right? The whole town had died. but they had a certain amount of charm. And then they allowed limited stakes gambling. Absolutely ruined those towns, every one of them. Now they're just miniature Las Vegas, and the people who had lived there for, you know, years and years and years were completely displaced, and they ended up having to leave their towns because the big casino companies moved in. And it was just sad to see. But I guess it's kind of like the libraries, you know, like it did provide jobs for people to live in the mountains. It ruined people's way of lives. And I guess they just moved to other mountain towns that would, you know, remind them of the old town. But being the pain in the neck that I am, I'm not sure that anybody's lives were better off for allowing gambling. Just saying. Oh, Atlantic City. I've been there, but not to gamble. I was delivering checks. They were a client when I was filling in back east, and one of the casinos, I won't mention which one, literally let themselves run out of checks to pay the winnings. They literally let themselves run out of checks, so they needed checks pronto. That's a whole story in itself. But I'd have to say things that I probably shouldn't say on the internet. But anyway, I went out there, and while I was there, I took time to walk through it. I loved the boardwalk. I loved the ocean. I loved everything about it. I hated every minute of the casino, except they were clients, so we served them. But you know the thing I hated about that, and I'll remember it until the day I die. I was filling in. I didn't live in Philadelphia. I was just filling in there. And I had a rental car that was rented to the company. And every little township in New Jersey charged a toll, right? I was going back to Cinnaminson, New Jersey. Right outside of Philadelphia. Well, not right outside, but close. Anyway, I didn't have any change. So I was just having to blow through their damn toll booths because none of them were manned. Out west, most, well, not so much anymore, but most of them are manned out here. So if you have $1, you can pay your, and literally sometimes the toll was a dime. In every little township, you had to throw a quarter, a dime, or some amount of money in the toll booth thing. So I was blowing through those toll booths like crazy because I had no change. And I didn't have a pike pass. And I thought, oh, wait until my boss, Owen, gets the bill for this. He'll never send me out of town again. You know, we never heard a word about that. And I'd ask him, I'd say, have you heard anything from the New Jersey Turnpike Authority? Nope, haven't heard a word. I couldn't believe we never heard a word. And I blew through every toll booth from Atlantic City back to Cinnaminson. Didn't bother me. I didn't care. And I'm not familiar with the area, so I'm not going to stop and and ask. I actually had to one night, scared the snot out of me. You have to remember, I'm a girl from the West, you know, like, I had not encountered real life, right? And I got in late to Cinnamonson one week. It was the first time I was ever out there. And in New Jersey, if you've never driven on the roads in New Jersey, and they didn't have GPS in the cars then, let me show you. They have what they call jug ears. So you're driving down the road, and if you want to turn left, anywhere in the West, you get in the left lane and you turn across traffic, right? New Jersey, they have jug ears. So all your left turns, you turn right and then go across at a light. So you're never turning across traffic. Well, I didn't know that. So I had a general idea of where I'm going, and I always asked at the airport, you know, how to get where I was going. They never told me anything that you couldn't take a left turn in New Jersey. So I get out there late at night, first time, never been there before, and I got so lost. And I'm pretty good with maps and directions, and I was never nervous about traveling by myself or anything else. That night, I got into a part of town that I was literally scared to stop in. And I am not hosing you. But I lived through it, lived to sit here today and tell the tale. But honestly, like, I don't think people in the West and people in the East understand the differences. You know, like, we have clover leaves on highways and stuff, but not on your average roads. On your average roads, you just turn left against traffic. Who cares? You get an arrow and you turn. I was so lost. I was so lost. And the people were nice. I don't want to say anything bad about the people, because the people were really, really nice. But talk about being uncomfortable and questioning whether or not I wanted to keep doing that job. I did for a whole year, but yeah. That was some scary stuff. Another time I got lost, I was driving to Atlanta, Georgia, and I needed gas really bad. There had been road construction, and I had been sitting, idling, and I was almost out of gas. Pulled into Birmingham, Alabama. Got off at the first exit I could to get myself some gas. And that was another really, really scary thing, because you couldn't get back on the highway where I had gotten off the highway. Yeah, it was scary. The neighborhood I got off in was scary, but I didn't know. Hell, I just got off to get gas. But I lived. But you could write movies about that. Yeah, it's pitch black. That, you are so right, Mary. And I think that was the first time I know it was the first time I'd ever gone to the New Jersey office, and they lost my luggage. So, and I always traveled on a Sunday afternoon in sweats, tennis shoes. I'd never gone into this branch office before. And fortunately, the airline gave me like a little travel thing that had a toothbrush and a comb and just basic necessities to get you through overnight, right? But I had hair that needed to be washed and dried and curled, and I had nothing. So the next morning I had to get up and go into the office. And they probably thought, what the hell have these people from corporate sent us? Because I literally went to my first day at the job in sweatpants and tennis shoes and crazy hair. And you have a rubber band. Yep. I had a lot of really fun experiences when I traveled. But one thing I will say, and I would go back to New Jersey today for this alone. What people tell you about Philly cheesesteak sandwiches is absolutely the truth. The Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, and there's no place that I've ever found, and I've tried ever since then. And one of the people at the office, I think, told me about the place to go, and fortunately it was right close to my hotel. There is nothing like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich from Philadelphia. Just saying, you can't order them or get them anywhere. They are delicious. And I think it's more, might be the meat, but I think it's the bread. I literally ate them almost every night. I'd stop on my way home from work and get a Philly cheesesteak and go to my hotel. I did do it a lot, go into restaurants and eat by myself. It wasn't like I was afraid or uncomfortable doing that. I just felt like it was such a waste of time. So I'd get my Philly cheesesteak, go to my hotel room, and probably work until 10. There are some really interesting colors on this page. Zoisite Genuine is that first one. That is a gorgeous color. The Quinacridone Deep Gold, obviously, I love. But the Deep Scarlet, that is an awesome color. And they're permanent brown. You've never had one? And you live out there? What's the matter with you? You need to get your butt down and get a Philly cheesesteak. If I could get them flown in here, I honest to God would. If they would taste fresh like they did there. And the bread was just so delicious. Now I'm getting hungry. I want a Philly cheesesteak. I want to go to Philadelphia. No, I don't. I don't want to go anywhere. I want them to bring it to my house. You know, another thing, CB, that I would love to have that I think about often is an Aussie meat pie. Why does nobody in America sell Aussie meat pies? They're so delicious. That one is really, this is Lunar Earth. That's a really interesting color. I like it. A meat pie. Yep. So good. Do you guys think I'm hungry? I was going to have ribs for dinner. I'll see what Robert wants. It's his birthday. He gets what he wants. That one's Pompeii Red. I wonder who names these colors. I've thought that a lot. That would be a good job. If I named them, it'd be like Booger Green, Slime Orange. That's Lunar Red Rock. I'd call that Lunar Redneck. Transparent Brown Oxide. These are very, very rich colors. Ooh, that brown is gorgeous. Transparent Brown Oxide. Now that brown I would actually order. What is a meat pie? Oh. CB can try and explain it. I'll do my best. It is a pastry. All around is pastry. And the pastry is delicious. But inside... Do we have any Aussies here? They're all sleeping right now. you can buy different kinds of meat pies, okay? The one I got was just the meat pie, and it was beef with kind of a gravy. I don't even know how to describe it. The most delicious meat you've ever had. And I've heard that you can buy them frozen from some company in the Northwest. But then I've heard other people say, don't bother, they're not like real Aussie pies. And we had them, what, 2 or 3 times? I would have eaten them every day. If Jen just said dinner tonight is meat pie, I would have been like, okay, we good. CB can fill in what I didn't tell you. And the ones in Sydney were not anywhere near as good as the ones we had out near Jen's house. Those ones that day we had when we went to pet the kangaroos, that was so delicious. But I think there again, I think it was the pastry. Like a chicken pot pie. Yeah, no. You can't compare a chicken pot pie. You really can't. In fact, they make chicken pot pies look like food that you should put in the garbage. The pastry was flaky and yummy, and the meat inside, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I'll have to have Carrie Ann describe it. They're delicious. And I'm not sure if there's something that people make at home or if it's something that you eat out. Like the ones we got at a bakery, of all places. And Jen obviously knew about this place, you know, like, and it must have been in the general vicinity of where the kangaroo park was. You make roast beef and candy glazed meat pie? Well, then I'll just come over for dinner, Kathy. Candied onion. Oh, that sounds delicious. All right, what are you guys talking about? Like a chicken pot pie? No. A Russian pierogi? Now, see, pierogies to me are potatoes. Am I wrong about that? I've had Ukrainian pierogies from some actually people in Canada that we met while camping. Was probably as close to the official pierogi, but I thought it was potatoes. And my mother tried, but she didn't do the pierogies justice. Just saying, she just didn't. That sounds delicious, Kathy. What do you use for the pastry? That's what I would want to know. I could probably do okay on the filling, but it's that pastry that I think was just so delicious. You'd think I'm a foodie. I'm really not a foodie, you guys. Meat and potato pie, yep. Now, I like shepherd's pie, but it's not anywhere like that. You can have fruit pierogies. Okay, see, I didn't know that. Jamaican beef patty. Onion, cheese, or meat. Yeah, Carla, you could get a lot of different kinds. There was a French bakery on McGuire Air Force Base commissary that stuffed croissants that were to die for. Okay, Juanita, I would say maybe when it came to the pastry, that's maybe as close as I could probably try and describe. Would be a fluffy croissant, but they weren't so delicate. It's the lard. Oh, no wonder. Lard and flour for the pastry. Okay. I'd have to buy some lard. I have to say I don't have lard in my house, but I'm not opposed to getting it. I think there comes a certain age in life. Like when I was 30, I probably would have said, nope, can't eat it, no lard. But at this point, why not? Eat it. Get that lard. That could kill you. Well, it might kill you, but who cares? I mean, did I do it again? Quinacridone Gold. I think I did. What? It's not even the same color, though. I think I did. I think I did 2 of the garnet. Alright, I'm going to make myself a mark on this line. And I'll just go to the next one rather than making you suffer, because it's my time to end, and I'm going to end on this row, and I'll fix that after I turn the camera off. So now that I've got you all starving to death, without the ingredients to go make the pastry for a really good meal, I'm going to leave you high and dry. But you know what? We forgot. I didn't do the drawing. Doggone it. I forgot that. Let's do it. Let's do the drawing and send off this. How about it? You guys ready? All right. Where did I leave off? Okay. I can finish that later. We're going to do the drawing. I can't believe I forgot. The third one twice. Yeah, I think you're right, Terry. I think that's exactly where I made the mistake. The color looks like it. All right. CB, I don't know if Dee Dee's still here, so you may be the only one here, but we shouldn't have that big a deal. Let me see if I can find my phone. All right. Here we go. I almost forgot. I'm glad I didn't let myself forget. All right. Here's the rules. One number only after I type go. We've got 54 people watching here, and I'm going to say number... All right, we'll do 1 to 100. First person closest without going over will win. You're going to have to give me your mailing address. So use the email, and I'll type it in again, and email me your address, and if you're going to participate in the swap, and what my home address. There's my email. All right. One number only. One between 1 and 100. First person without going over. One number only. I didn't type in go yet, Barbara. That sounded so mean. All right, ready, set, go. And I'll get random.org up here on the phone while you guys are slapping in your numbers. She yanked it out of there, so we'll let her play with us. I'm not sure why, but we will. All right, come on, phone. Work with me here. Random dot. All right, hurry up, get your numbers in. I'm still waiting for random.org, so good luck to everybody. Okay, here's 1 through 100. Generate, and I will send this anywhere. It can go overseas as well. So, are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Dee Dee's a lot nicer than me. Just saying. All right, here we go. 1 through 100. Can you see it in the screen okay? Generate. Number 31. Okay, CB. 31. Melody, we'll let you play too. All right, first number closest to 31 without going over. Oh, Diana, you were so close. Rachel, I think it's you with 26. I'll wait for CB to verify that I'm right, but I think Rachel won. With 26. Rachel, 26. Jane agrees with me. Gotta wait for CB. Rachel Joan Fleming, 26. There you go, Rachel. It's coming your way. Okay, Rachel, you need to email me your address. So I guess the rest of you goofballs will have to make your own. Congrats, Rachel. I got your name on it. I'm supposed to go into town tomorrow and say, if you get it to me today, I'll take it in tomorrow. But with Jackie changing her plans, I may have to change mine as well. So I'll try and get it in the mail by the end of the week. So yeah, just make sure I have your address here pretty quickly. Yeah, I got back just in time. Congratulations to you. I hope you like it. Now you have to participate in the Zentangle swap, so you have stuff to put in it. So I'm running over, so I'm going to say thank you all very, very much. Make your ATC holders and post on IG so I can see. And I won't grade you, I promise. And really think about joining us for the ATC swap, okay, you guys? I'd really like to see your stuff. So do it, do it, do it. All right, you guys, be kind to each other. And love you. And I'll see you next time. I'll see you at Dee Dee's Wednesday, regardless. See you later, bye.